Chapter 19, Cerberus. Let's be quick, Phil said as he unlocked the front door at Heroes and led Hector inside. Why quick? Hector asked, glancing around nervously. Mom doesn't usually check on the security cam footage, Phil replied, shutting the door quietly behind them. But you never know. She and Dad are watching football. She could get bored. Too bad that dating show's not on tonight, Hector said, following his brother into the dimly lit store. The one with the girls fighting over that one guy and the roses. That doesn't exactly narrow it down, Phil smirked. Don't they all have that stuff? Point taken, Hector said, heading for the trophy case. Hector paused reverently in front of the Zeus Cup, displayed in all its glory. He glanced nervously at the security cams mounted on the walls. They each had red lights lit, indicating the cameras were recording. Phil slipped the heavy key inside the lock and twisted. Click. The door swung open on smooth hinges. Hector reached inside, his fingers wrapping around the trophy. He felt a surge of energy flow through the Zeus Cup into his fingers. There was power in the cup. That much was clear, and it seemed to be getting stronger, maybe because the celestial alignment was coming up. Hector clutched the trophy as they left the store, and Phil locked the door behind them. Need a ride? Phil asked, cocking his head toward his truck. Nah, she's meeting me here, Hector lied. In the park. Phil nodded. Have fun, little bro. Just let's make sure we put the trophy back by the morning. With that, Phil winked, climbed into his truck, and sped off. Rock music blared out as the truck vanished from view. This had been so much easier than Hector could have imagined, and now he was all alone. Hector headed for the park. His camera bag smacked his leg as he walked. He clutched the Zeus Cup in his hands tighter. His plan had better work, or he'd be out of options. He didn't have much time left. He glanced at the night sky. The sun had just dipped into the horizon, throwing the little downtown area into darkness. All at once, the streetlights flickered on, casting their halos of light. The full moon was rising. It peaked over the horizon. Soon the celestial alignment would hit its pinnacle, and Hector would be out of time to save May. He felt that familiar wave of self-doubt wash through him, but he pushed it away. He had to be a hero tonight, a true hero this time. I have to save her, he thought, even if it's the last thing I do. When he got to the Hades statue, he studied it. Hades stared down at him impassively. He needed to find the door to the underworld, and clearly the Zeus Cup was the key to opening the door. But where was it? He didn't have a clue, or even know where to start. He gripped the golden trophy while he inspected the statue. He ran his free hand over the smooth facade, but didn't find any clues that would help. Finally, Hector turned his eyes to the sky. The full moon was steadily rising. He missed May. She would know what to do, or at least where to start looking. Come on, think, he whispered to himself. He didn't know where the door was, but who did? That's when it hit him. He didn't know if it would work, but he had to try. I summoned pain and panic, he said. He felt silly even saying those words. He waited, but nothing happened. Hector stared up at the statue in frustration. He tried to think about everything he'd read in the book that May took from the library. How did Hades summon them? Hey, doesn't your master want the Zeus Cup? Hector said, spinning around. He held the cup over his head. So where are you little monsters hiding? Get over here. At first, nothing happened. But then he felt a sudden zap, like a surge of electricity, emanated from the Zeus Cup into his hands and his body. He could feel the power of the ancient relic. Poof! Suddenly, in a puff of pink smoke, pain and panic materialized in front of them. Hey, we're demons, not monsters, Pain said, sounding insulted. Get it right, mister. Yeah, don't insult us, Panic added in a chipper voice. And you know, we've got other stuff to do. Kidnapping, maiming, torture, etc. The boss man isn't very patient. Summoning isn't instantaneous, Payne added, rolling his eyes. There's lag time. Don't you know anything about dark magic? What are they teaching you in school these days? They both stared at him expectantly with their yellow eyes. So what you want, Wonder Boy? Panic asked. Hector hated that stupid nickname now more than ever. He held up the Zeus cup for them to see. It caught the moonlight, glinting with golden light. Pain and Panic jumped up and down in excitement. Ooh, looky here, Wonder Boy brought the Zeus cup, Pain said. Oh, give it to us. Panic swiped at it, but Hector yanked it back. Where's the door to the underworld? Hector asked, holding the trophy away from their greedy claws. I want to give it to Hades in person. We're not supposed to tell you that, Pain said, cringing back in fear. We're just supposed to retrieve the cup. Yeah, his most lugubriousness wouldn't be happy, Pain added. Come on, what can he really do to you? Hector prodded. Maim, Pain said right away. Torture, Panic added. Trust us, you don't want to see him really flame out. It's super gnarly. They both sounded afraid, glancing up at the Hades statue. Yeah, why not just give us the cup? Panic went on. That's the deal. Yeah, Pain said. Then we can use the symbols in the marble and open the... He trailed off. Panic shoved Pain and they started squabbling. You weren't supposed to say that. Uh-oh, he knows, Pain said, shoving Panic back. They both vanished in a puff of pink smoke. But they'd let a clue slip, and Hector seized on it. Symbols in the marble, he whispered excitedly to himself, turning to look at the statue again through narrowed eyes. But he'd examined the whole thing, hadn't he? Of course he hadn't been sure what to look for. He hadn't seen any symbols, though. Where were they? It was getting darker and darker out, and soon he might not be able to find them at all. He glared up at Hades' face, wishing the god would give him a clue. He remembered how Hades got really angry when he and May were snooping around the statue and taking pictures of it. Maybe he'd gotten upset because the pictures had a clue. Feeling a rush of adrenaline, Hector pulled out his camera and started flipping through the pictures he'd taken of the Hades statue. He must have captured a clue about the location of the door to the underworld. That was probably why Hades got so upset and set Hector's camera on fire. Hector kept swiping until something caught his eye. Could that be it? His heart thumped faster as he zoomed in on the strange markings on the front of the Hades statue. Some of it looked like Greek writing, but there was something else, edge that depicted the celestial alignment. He recognized them from the book. He zoomed in closer on the symbols. They led down the front of the statue. He followed them with his eyes, then started back in surprise. The markings weren't just a clue about where the door was located. At the bottom of the markings, etched into the marble, was the outline of a door. That's it. The Hades statue was more than just a normal statue. It actually held the door to the underworld. That was why Hades could inhabit the marble and bring it to life. The statue was like a gateway to the underworld, connecting it to this world. It all made perfect sense. The Zeus cup served as the key to open the door for real. That was why Hades wanted it so badly. For now, he was attached to the marble and stuck in Mount Olympus. But if he could actually open the door, Hector felt a rush of excitement coupled with trepidation. Just like before, the starting buzzer went off in a big race. He approached the statue with the Zeus cup. He hoisted the golden trophy up to the base of the statue, where the strange markings were, and held his breath. Nothing happened. Come on, Hector said, waving the trophy at the doorway. Open up! I brought the Zeus cup. I'm the champion and the protector. I won the race and I need to find Hades. Still nothing happened. Hector's frustration mounted. Come on, open up, he shouted, clutching the Zeus cup. He dug deeper, searching his heart for why he was doing this. I'm the champion, and I have to save my friend. Everything fell silent, and Hector felt like he'd failed. He turned away in defeat. But that's when it happened. A bolt of lightning surged out of the Zeus cup, hitting the statue. Crack! A great rumbling erupted, shaking the ground and throwing Hector back. The outline of the door glowed with blue light. Thunder and lightning crackled in the moonlit sky, even though there were no storm clouds in sight. Hector braced himself, then glanced up at the statue. It rippled with blue bolts of electricity. He felt a great rumbling shake the ground underneath his feet. Creak! Slowly, almost reluctantly, as if it hadn't opened in a very long time, the front of the statue cracked apart and the door swung open in front of him. It was thick and made of solid marble. Blue light emanated from inside the door, illuminating the steep white marble stairs that led downward as if into a great abyss. Hector couldn't see the bottom. A horrid stench wafted out from the doorway. It smelled of sulfur, like rotten eggs, coupled with the acrid stench of burning. Ash drifted through the doorway like fallen snow, speckling Hector's hair and dusting the ground. The whole place just felt wrong. Everything in his body made him feel like running away. This was the place of death, literally, and it smelled like it too. No, I can do this, Hector told himself, trying to steady his nerves. Even heroes get scared, but they still do what they need to do. That's what makes them true heroes. He had to save May. There was no one else who could do it. Besides, it was his fault that Hades had kidnapped her in the first place. He had to help her. Clutching the Zeus cup, he stepped through the door and peered down the stairs into the dark abyss below. Suddenly, a three-headed dog lunged at him and gnashed its teeth. Cerberus! Hector screamed, dodging out of the way. One head missed him, snapping at his throat, but then a second head lunged for him. He dodged again, but the third head swung around. The sharp jaws caught the blue light. The beast howled and snarled, releasing ferocious cries. Hector turned back to flee, but that's when it happened. The thick door slammed shut with a loud thud, sealing him inside the underworld with the monstrous creature. He was trapped.